This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. A court in Cyprus is ordering the detainment of an Egyptian plane hijacker. President Obama is shortening the prison sentence for 60 nonviolent drug offenders.
Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I am Angelica Pedraza.
And I'm Sheraine Atkinson. The three Republican candidates are backing away from their pledge to support the new GOP nominee, whoever he is.
I'm not in the habit of supporting someone who attacks my wife and attacks my family.
No, I don't anymore. Look.
You don't?
No, we'll see who it is.
You won't promise to support the Republican nominee?
And he was essentially saying the same thing.
I got to see what happens. If the nominee is somebody that I think is really hurting the country and dividing the country, I can't stand behind them.
The candidates made the pledge last year when they were afraid of Trump running as an independent. Kasich says it would have been wiser if none of the candidates had agreed to support the nominee in the first place. Trump says he believes he has been treated unfairly by the Republican National Committee and does not need support from rival candidates. Cruz says he believes he still can beat Trump, but he did not completely refuse to back the billionaire. John Kasich says if the nominee is somebody who is hurting and dividing the country, he cannot stand behind him.
Georgia Governor Nathan Deal has announced he will veto a bill that would have given faith-based organizations in Georgia the option to deny services and jobs to gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. He made the decision after major entertainment corporations threatened to cut the business ties to the state. North Carolina Attorney General Roy Cooper says Indiana is an example of the consequences suffered when a state passes a similar bill.
He saw what happened in the state of Indiana when that state passed laws that discriminate. He saw that Indiana lost business and millions of dollars in revenue, and everyday working people there were hurt.
More than a dozen states have approved such laws in the past year. Groups working to protect LGBT rights praised Deal's decision.
The power in Valley Glen is still out after the driver of a fire truck lost control and knocked down power lines. The firefighters were responding to a 911 dispatch call placed around 2 this morning. The driver apparently suffered a medical emergency and crashed into several cars before his fellow firefighters could get control of the vehicle. The incident occurred near the intersection of Burbank Boulevard and Woodman Way. The fire truck crashed into 6 vehicles and knocked power out in a 6-square block radius. 4 firefighters were injured in the crash. 1 was taken to the hospital in stable condition.
In Pasadena, a person has been killed this morning in a crash that left the car wrapped around a traffic pole. The Pasadena Fire Department says the 2-car collision occurred at the intersection of East Villa Street and North Lake Avenue. Video from the scene showed firefighters working to rescue someone who was in a badly damaged Ford Mustang. 1 person in the Mustang was killed and 3 others were injured. A person who was driving an SUV also suffered minor injuries.
President Obama is commuting the sentences of 61 individuals serving time for drug-related offenses. Obama says the penalties for drug-related crimes are too harsh and that only certain populations are being affected.
In the past were viewed as or stereotypically identified as poor, minority, and as a consequence, the thinking was it is often a character flaw in those individuals who live in those communities, and it's not our problem that they're just being locked up.
President Obama has commuted 248 individuals, which is more than the past 6 presidents combined.
Egypt is formally asking Cyprus to extradite Saif Eddin Mustafa today. Mustafa admitted to hijacking an Egypt air flight and diverting it to Cyprus. The request for extradition comes after a Cypriot court ordered Mustafa to stay in police custody for 8 days. Cypriot officials say that Mustafa is facing preliminary charges that include hijacking, illegal possession of explosives, kidnapping, and threats to commit violence. Mustafa was able to get through security because the explosive belt he claimed to have on board was fake. Mustafa says he diverted the plane to Cyprus to see his ex-wife and kids for the first time after a 1-year prison sentence in Egypt.
The Los Angeles City Council is considering softening laws put into place after a sharp spike in homelessness. The laws currently allow police to charge homeless people with misdemeanor penalties and fines. They also give police permission to confiscate personal belongings. Now the city council says the city needs to expand storage bins for homeless people on Skid Row so police won't need to take people's belongings. Officials have suspended enforcement, fearing potential lawsuits pending city council action. The city approved a $2 billion plan to end homelessness in the next 10 years.
If you're looking for a way to help those in need, Matador News reporter Morgan Bertolotti has the story.
Thanks, Angelica. This Sunday, April 3rd, the CSUN Institute for Sustainability is hosting their 6th annual orange picking event. Sarah Johnson is the coordinator, and she says the idea is to help those in need.
An organization called Food Forward, it's a nonprofit organization, and basically their main goal or mission is to do these types of picks where they go to local orchards and people's backyards and farmers markets and collect food that otherwise would go to waste.
The Grove has more than 400 orange trees and is one of the last in the San Fernando Valley's agricultural history. The goal on Sunday is to pick 10,000 pounds of oranges. More than 300 people signed up to volunteer so far, and few spots are left available. The 5-acre orange grove is located on Nordhoff between Zelza and Lindley on campus. It's next to a pond that is home for ducks, red-eared slider turtles, koi, and goldfish. So when you're strolling along the path this Sunday with your significant other, it will be crowded, more crowded than usual. Feel free to pitch in to help those in need. Now let's go back to Flor with the latest in business.
Boeing officials say they will cut 4,000 jobs to reduce costs. The airplane manufacturer says airlines are choosing the French-made Airbus over its planes. The aircraft maker says they will achieve the job reductions by leaving open positions unfilled, voluntary buyouts, and reduction in staff. The company announced last month a plan to save money by cutting non-labor spending, supply chain costs, and staffing levels. Boeing says it will also cut deliveries by about 20 commercial jets in 2016, although that reduction comes from the transition its best-selling jet, the 737, to the 737 MAX. Apple is now asking the FBI to explain how they hacked the San Bernardino terrorist iPhone. The data from terrorist Saeed Farouk, who killed 14 people in December, was successfully hacked by an unnamed third party after Apple refused to unlock the phone for the FBI. The Department of Justice has since dropped the case against Apple. Apple argued it has to protect its customers' privacy. Authorities say the tech giant's security is not as advanced as it once thought. Let's go to Michael Ramirez for the latest on health.
28 people overdosed on opiates in Sacramento County. The contaminated pills also led to 6 deaths that were used from the street drugs. The Department of Health said those who abused the drugs thought they were taking fentanyl, which is a synthetic opiate that attacks the heart and the lungs. Fentanyl is said to be stronger than heroin. Authorities say people are mislabeling the drug for something else. Now let's go to entertainment with Flor.
Thanks, Michael. The Rolling Stones make a major appearance in Cuba after years of cultural censorship. The concert came after the United States and Cuba announced they would repair decades of broken relations. The Stones played many of their classics like Painted Black, Sympathy for the Devil, and Brown Sugar. A Cuban choir joined them to sing You Can't Always Get What You Want. Thousands of people attended the free concert, including singer Jimmy Buffett, model Naomi Campbell, and actor Richard Gere. Lady Gaga and Joe Biden are joining forces to talk about sexual assault. They will be holding a rally in Las Vegas on April 7th. Biden says he admires Gaga for the courage in her getting other women involved. He is holding other events at universities in Pennsylvania and Colorado. It's part of a week-long program on the prevention of sexual assault on college campuses. Now let's go to Michael with the latest in sports.
In the NBA, the Warriors have 31 wins on the road. Golden State earned their 67th win of the season after defeating the Washington Wizards 102-94. In the first quarter, the MVP, Stephen Curry, with a steal and takes it into the paint to score a fantastic 2-point. In the second quarter, Curry receives the ball to score a 3-pointer before the half expired. In the fourth quarter, Curry steals another 3-pointer to give the Golden State Warriors another great win. Stephen Curry had a fantastic night with 26 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. The Warriors' next game will take place tonight against the Jazz in Utah. Lakers point guard D'Angelo Russell is in trouble. Russell allegedly recorded a conversation with teammate Nick Young when he confessed to cheating on his fiancée, E.G. Azalea. Nick Young said in the video that he met another woman in a club. On Monday morning, teammates isolated Russell by refusing to eat with him. The team has now determined whether Russell will be banned for the remainder of the season. In Columbus, Ohio, a crucial FIFA World Cup qualifying game takes place. The U.S. men's national team defeated Guatemala 4-0 in Matador Stadium and booked 3 key points for the World Cup. Clint Dempsey scored the first goal at the 12th minute with a strong left shot, leaving the Guatemalan keeper without any chance of blocking that goal. At the 35th minute, Captain Michael Bradley sent an amazing cross on the left side, and Jeff Cameron headed the ball into a net to put the 2-0 before halftime. In the beginning of the second half, Graham Souza did not give any compassion or mercy to Guatemala and scored a third goal with another great shot. Head coach Jurgen Klinsmann was satisfied and happy that his team was winning 3-0. Before ending this game, at the 88th minute, Clint Dempsey stole the ball from the Guatemala defense and passed the ball to Josie Altuve to score the 4-0. The next World Cup qualifying game for the U.S. will be in September against St. Vincent and Trinidad and Tobago. Now let's go to Matador news reporter Angel Johnson in the newsroom with coverage of CSUN Majors event happening in the Matador Square.
Thanks, Michael. For more than 10 years, CSUN has put on these fairs to help students try to figure out what they want to study. Peer educator Kwesi Essilfie says the event helps students.
The purpose of the Majors Fair is where students can come and learn about different types of majors that we have here at CSUN. We have over 200 majors, so there are lots of choices that students can pick from. And this is sort of time where students can come talk to faculty members about those majors if they have any questions about the courses, what are the requirements, and that sort of thing.
Some of the different programs that are offered are the Deaf Studies program, Graduate program, and the EOP program.
I'm looking forward to finding the majors I'm really interested in so I can finally just pick one.
And what majors are you interested in?
Mostly computer science and Asian American studies.
The fair will go on until 2 this afternoon. And let's go back to Angelica with more news.
A giant panda has been spending time with its foster dad at a conservation and research center in West China. The interaction between the panda and the man amazed visitors. The panda was continuously asking for kisses and posing for selfies with its foster dad. Even after the photos, the panda wanted to check the pictures taken. There you have it. The selfie generation has definitely taken over. Thank you for watching Matador News. Keep in mind campus will be closed tomorrow in honor of Cesar Chavez Day. I'm Angelica Pedraza.
I'm Sheraine Atkinson.
I'm Flor Tolentino.
And I'm Ramirez.